the relationship didn't go the way that you expected. All the early signs in the relationship indicated that this was going to be the person that you were going to stay with. This was the one. But, as usual, as the way in which the carnal nature and personalities disorders work, things begin to disintegrate. Now, the disintegration starts at a micro-incremental level and then builds from there. But if you're not aware of how the sinful nature works, or narcissism, or whatever personality disorder you're dealing with at the time, you're going to possibly respond with confusion. You're going to experience an element of confusion as to why all of a sudden has the relationship gone backwards, or why am I dealing with these absences and voids, whether it be mental and physical. And so your response could be a slight confront. You could say, look, why aren't you turning up as much? Or why are you interested in things that have no contribution to the relationship? As a matter of fact, they impact the relationship. You have a little confront, and then things improve and temporarily, and so you carry on. But in the back of your mind, there's this gnawing, questioning, confusion. And what you'll find is a lot of the time you won't be able to specifically describe what's happening, because you're objectively trying to be committed and loyal and present in most aspects and respects, as far as it depends on you. And now this person that come along and mirrored this is actually starting to manifest something much less, and now you're trying to work out exactly what's going on. But there's a fog when you're dealing with the sinful nature and narcissism. What other personality disorder it's manifesting in, because it can change at its will. There might be a primary dysfunction, but it can change and manage itself in different ways, manifest itself in different ways that will cause you to remain foggy and heavy in mind. And again, as I said before, this disables your ability to diagnose what you're trying to deal with. You think that, well, they're going to get better. If I try harder, they'll get better. But that's not usually an antidote that's going to work. What that does is, like when a storm front comes over, it makes things more cloudy. It makes the mind more heavy. It leaves the person with more questions than answers. And the mind begins to get tired and sore, because you're under the illusion that things are going to get better. You haven't been aggressive enough with the problem. And now one problem has turned into many. The primary one being that now you're starting to suffer a mental decline, pain and a fog in the back of your mind that hurts, that you're trying to convince yourself isn't there, but it's there. And as you devote yourself more and try harder without a result, without any reciprocation, because of the heaviness and the fog and the cloudiness and the pain far back in the back of your mind, and the way this enables your ability to want to fix things completely, which may mean a breakup, a cessation of the relationship, you go deeper and deeper into pain. This is the problem. This is where the post-traumatic stress disorder or complex post-traumatic stress disorders and things start to happen. Now, it doesn't happen at the level of, say, someone that's experienced war and the agonies and stresses of all that. But it does happen, and it happens severely. People's health suffers. People that are in sport don't perform as well as they should, and as a matter of fact, in some cases they have serious accidents because their hand-eye and mental coordinations are disrupted by the stress and worry of this person's immature and dysfunctional behaviour. This is where I can personally say that I've experienced this. I have 4 screws in a shattered ankle, which happened in 2019 in a sporting accident that occurred as a result of confusion, anxiety, severe confusion, anxiety, and unsurety relative to the dysfunctional and adverse behaviour of the woman I was married to at that time. I had a very serious accident. I could have lost my life. I was a kite surfer, and I got taken up into the sky by way of a lack of concentration due to this is what these people do. They take your mind away from where it should be. And I was taken by ambulance after the accident to the hospital, where I spent weeks and weeks for them to decide whether they were going to take my foot off or repair the injury. I was also had a broken wrist, which they repaired with a plate, steel plate. Now, these are injuries that I've got to live with for the rest of my life. That person's out of my life. But the mark they left the damage they left trying to have a relationship with them is lifelong. My whole sporting life and work life was changed due to the injury. The agony and pain that I suffer on a daily basis, it's now 2025, this has happened in 2019, occurs on a daily basis, and that person's just gone because I later had to dissolve the marriage. It was a case of covert emotional incest with the son, I didn't muck around with it. I'd experienced it before, and I dissolved the relationship. But if you're not aware of the mental torture, punishment and abuse that these people can bring on you covertly, and by covertly I mean they leave you questioning, is this really, what is this? You see, you don't know what it is, but you know that it's harming you and abusing you and hurting you. And you better believe it, because don't end up like me. Some people suffer even worse. They die. They have a lapse in concentration, crash their car, die, have heart attacks, strokes. It's not a joke. Please believe me, it is not a joke. I know by experience. I've had a couple now of covert narcissists. Very good, clever, harmful narcissists, female narcissists. And I've had a couple of experiences with severe, covert emotional incest as well. And there's so many other forms of these dysfunctions that can harm you and maim you. And for the normal person who doesn't study psychology or theology or the makeup of humanity, fallen humanity, they end up on the carousel of mental abuse, and they don't even know they're on it. And when they fly off into the dirt, face first, skin off hands, etc., if you know what I mean, you better learn, you better understand what's happening, because the world and our communities are full of people that are sinners. And at the end of the day, that's what all this is, and that's how powerful and evil sin is, because it manifests itself through all these personality disorders. That's how the sinful nature works.